Santino Marella. Oh my God, that's
He was here. He was here a couple of months ago with OTT Wrestling in Ireland.
oh my God. It's so funny because I mean he's a legit, real badass in life. Like he's a legit badass. Like he can whoop some ass. And it was funny because when they're trying to figure out what to do with him, and they were in OVW, they were working with him. They were trying to make him like almost like a shoot wrestler, like a real badass, but like because he could be, he's like a judo champion and stuff. But sometimes you could be good in one thing and it doesn't always transfer over. Like Nick Nemeth and Bobby Lashley were really good at wrestling. And eventually, it did transfer. A lot of it transferred, but I felt like with Anthony or Santino, it was like it didn't transfer as easy with that. It seemed like a little bit more robotic when he was trying to do that, or maybe he just didn't feel that character. I don't know, but like when they called him and said, "Hey, can you do an Italian accent, or can you be Italian or whatever?" And he's like, one of the things we always learned was like, if they tell you, when they ask you, can you do something, you say yes, and you figure it out, and you will be able to do that thing because you're just trying to make it. You're just trying to get your foot in that door. Can you ride a motorcycle? Yes. Can you speak Italian? Yes. Can you fly? Yes. Whatever. Yes. I'll figure it out. But so to see him all of a sudden become this other character, the Santino Marella, and it's just, and to see him do it so well, the character and charisma. I mean, like, it's just like he became so big and such a lovable character, and everybody just, when you think of Santino, you just love him. It's like, yeah, it's just awesome, and it was fun watching him develop like that, because I remember when he first came, one of the first things he did was he got some big heat from Jimmy. I mean, I'm sure you know the story with him and Boogeyman, and
no.
Oh, you don't know that story? Oh shoot. I'll just tell the quick version because it's not really my story to tell. I was there. I watched it happen. I was standing this far away from it. But Boogeyman was just starting to make his debut, and he was doing it in OVW, and it was the whole thing. He's scaring the crap out of everybody. All the wrestlers are supposed to be scared, and like so there's one section where it was basically like I guess it was like the beginners class. They weren't under contract. They were just like beginner wrestlers in OVW. They weren't in the contract class. They were just doing like, a couple days a week. But they still had to come to the shows and sit in the audience in a certain section. And this one spot was where Boogeyman was supposed to, chase one of the other wrestlers out the door because it was a feud they were having. And he's going to get out of the ring, chase him through the side door, and they had to go through the audience. And the audience just happened to be the beginner students who were going to sell the hell out of it. Like, holy crap, here comes the Boogeyman. They're, going nuts, like scared shitless, scattering from their seats. And I guess Santino, Anthony, I guess he didn't get the memo. Oh, I know what it was. I think what happened was like his kid was there or something like that, or something. He didn't want his kid to see, like he was scared, or he just didn't want. He wanted to protect his kid for some reason. I think it was like he just didn't want to make too big a deal because he didn't want the kid to be scared shitless. So I think he undersold it. I think that's pretty much what the basic gist of it is. And Jimmy saw this, and holy shit, he was not happy. So backstage after the match, I guess he got called back, and he was just past the gorilla position in the main office area in the back room where we get dressed and everything. And Jimmy just laid into him in his face like this, and he's like, just like, who do you think you are? Blah 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 blah, and smacked the shit out of Santino. Smacked the shit out because Jimmy would get hot because Jimmy had a particular way things were supposed to be done, a particular way things should be sold, and he's protecting the business, and because he's old school and he should, and that's Jimmy, and he has a ton of passion, which I have respect for. But Jimmy, Jimmy's Jimmy, and he lost his shit, and as he does sometimes. And like I said, I love Jimmy to death. And and boy, did he lay a smack right across Santino's face, man. I mean, he smacked the taste right out of his mouth. And I remember I was standing next to, like, I think it was like Nova or some, like a couple guys I was standing next to. We just, like, me and Johnny Jeter or something. We were just like looked at each other like holy shit, did that just happen? Wow. Like, ooh. And then it's like kind of like, okay, I'm gonna mind my own business now, because you don't want to be in the wrath of anybody, especially Jimmy. You want to be on his good side. But yeah, that was crazy. And he's like, you'll never make it in the business and blah, blah, blah. And, you'll be nothing, as long as I have anything to do with it. And so I think to this day, they still have a lot of heat towards each other. So if I understand correctly. So yeah, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. So, but I mean, for him to go from having such heat and then getting over and becoming what he became, it's awesome. It's awesome to see.